I'm Rizal and welcome back to What's What. Today we're going to talk about one thing. Actually, every episode we talk about one thing. Today we're going to talk about co-working spaces, okay? So what co-working spaces, by definition, is actually like membership-based workspaces where it's catered to diverse groups, where you got freelancers, you got like remote workers and all that kind of stuff. So in short, co-working spaces are actually a place where people can just rent a space instead of renting like a whole new office. You start up, you get your funding, you open up, say, look, you know what, the first thing I get is an office. Wrong. Best thing is you got to bootstrap when you first start up your startup. A co-working space, for example, you start up, it's only you and your founder, co-founder, whatever it is, right? So you only need 2 spaces. You don't need to rent like a whole new office. So the thing is, you go to co-working space, you rent 2 tables, and as your team grows, you rent more and more tables, and then when it really grows and you take over the whole co-working spaces, it's either you buy them out or practically you go and you move into an actual office. With co-working spaces, what happens is when you go in there, you have the flexibility of utilizing it as an actual office. Even though you rent like a space, a table, then there are meeting rooms, event rooms and whatnot that you can actually rent as well. You can utilize fully at your full disposal. Why would someone choose co-working spaces? There are a few reasons. The first reason, people who use co-working spaces see their work as meaningful. Work in a place where there are... How you choose a co-working space actually depends on actually what you do. I want to create a game, right? I would actually look at co-working spaces that are built for game development. They attract like-minded people who you can learn off each other. You're practically in an office with like-minded people who can contribute to your ideas and you can contribute to people's ideas as well. You only need to rent as per to what you need and not on top of etc, etc, etc. So let's say you're a one-man working team. You need a space, you need to work. Instead of renting an actual outlet itself, and then you have to pay for the water bill, the electricity bill. So right now everything is shared. So it's shared resources, shared utilities and whatnot, which keeps your cost lower. Alright? So in terms of flexibility, you only, let's say even if you grow your team, you only have to add on to what you actually need. You don't need above and beyond. Another reason why, also based on the flexibility, you don't have to actually rent like, okay, because if you were to rent an office, like a space itself on your own, let's say your development only takes 6 months, you only rent it for 6 months, or you only need that place for 3 months while you move into your new office, you only rent it for 3 months. What I want to talk about is actually what you have to look for when you're looking at co-working spaces. Because some co-working spaces, they add in like extra charges that you don't see, hidden costs. Naughty. So the thing is, practically at the end of the day, you have to see exactly what they're charging you and what they're charging you for, and is it necessary to you. So these are the things that you have to scrutinize. Okay. The next thing that you have to look at is actually, like I said before, is actually the community, because when you have like-minded people and the people who are working in the same arena with you, you shouldn't and you should not look at them as competition, because this would actually help you. So the thing is, let's say if you're building a game on app or service app, like let's say Uber or something like that, you have to work with people around that are actually working on the same thing. So you have to sit down, then you can learn more. You can learn more, you can interact more with people who are like-minded, where you can actually elevate your ideas even further. Next thing is actually you have to look at culture. The co-working space that you're going to, you have to go and check it out first. Don't just say, oh yeah, it's cheap. Because cheap is one, but the other thing is actually the culture itself. So let's say the person who runs a co-working space, right? You go to VLT, you know like Izwan, what kind of character he is, how he will help you, because all those things matter, right? So the culture itself, the culture of the people inhabiting the co-working space is very, very important. Based on the culture, would also determine what kind of events that they have at the co-working space. You actually get invited for these events, so the thing is you have to have a look at what kind of culture, which would determine what kind of events that would be held there. You wouldn't want to go for an event that wouldn't, I mean, you know what I mean. At the end of the day, this is a situation. You have to you have to really understand the needs and wants of your business model. Then that's how you determine which co-working space you should utilize. It would not make sense if, let's say, if I wanted to start a food truck business and I go into a tech-based co-working space. So it's a lot of logic and a lot of really understanding what you want to do. So now I want to talk about a few co-working spaces that we have here. So the first co-working space that I want to talk about is Nook. You can have a look at Nook.my, and then you can have a look at White Space International. You can have a look at Paper Toast. Paper Toast is cool. I've been there. I think it's quite super. The food is good. The environment is cool. Another one that you can have a look is actually Fluent Space, where you can have a look at fluentspace.my. Another one you can have a look is actually Impact Hub. Okay, so Impact Hub is quite cool because it's run by Cradle. So actually, there are a lot of industry experts that are there. A lot of the CGP programs are there as well, so you can have a look at that. The other one that we can have a look at is actually MAKESPACE. You can check it out at makespace.my. And the last I want to highlight is practically VLT Labs. So VLT Labs is cool. It's run by this guy. It has like a homely feel. It's based in Bangsa, so go and check them out. For all these, you want to check out the links, you check them below here. Okay? So that's all for today. Okay.
I can work with that.